What's up guys, today's video is on the top 10 best smartphone gimbals to date. Through extensive research and testing I've put together a list of options that will meet the needs of different types of buyers. We have considered their product quality, features, and values when narrowing down the top choices possible. If you want more information and update pricing on the products mentioned, check these links in the description box below. Number 1. DJI Hohem 6. We didn't think smartphone stabilizers could get any better than the DJI Hohem 5, but the DJI Osmo Mobile 6 goes to show they can. We're still not convinced by the fiddly folding mechanism, but other than that it's an extremely robust, professional selfie stick/gimbal that has a lot of advanced features such as motion time-lapse, subject tracking and an analog zoom/focus wheel for easy control. This certainly isn't a budget option, but it's by far one of the best selfie sticks you can buy if stabilization is your main game. We tested it using the iPhone 14 Pro Max, and despite it being one of the heavier smartphones now available, it was able to keep up with some aggressive movements from us and still maintain incredibly smooth footage. It's an excellent selfie stick/gimbal, but you will have to pay a hefty chunk more. Number 2. DJI Hohem 5. The DJI Hohem 5 is the latest smartphone gimbal from DJI. It has a 21.5 cm extendable pole and is the most lightweight one yet at just 290 grams. DJI has removed the big heavy battery found in previous models for a lower powered one, but don't worry, it still has over 6 hours of battery life, and you could always charge it with one of the best power banks. The handling and build quality of the Hohem 5 is excellent. It has a rubber handle for grip and the joystick is perfectly positioned for easy operation. You can use gesture controls such as displaying a V sign to initiate record, and active track will lock on and track a subject. Our one slight concern is that the hinge at the top of the extension rod is really easy to turn, which can be frustrating when you're opening the hinge in the hurry. That aside, it's a great gimbal, which is why it got 5 stars in our review. Number 3. Zhiyun Smooth 5S. The Zhiyun Smooth 5S handled our iPhone 13 Pro Max and its 3-camera array with no problems, and its fill light is both powerful and simple to use. But with the phone's accessory port jammed up against the tilt motor for horizontal video, it makes using mic impractical. Plus there are not one but 2 matching apps, and the 5S has tiny mode lamps you can barely see in daylight. The Zhiyun Smooth 5S is very effective, however, and while the apps are a bit of a muddle, you can use it with your phone's native app too and still get the benefit of basic stabilization and control options. Number 4. Zhiyun Smooth Q4. The Zhiyun Smooth Q4 combo enables you to perform professional and disciplined camera moves on your smartphone while keeping the footage stable in the horizon level. You can make the gimbal pan and tilt, zoom in or out of your subject, and trigger the recording with one hand thanks to the Bluetooth connected app on your smartphone. It will help elevate your camera moves to a more professional level. The Smooth Q4 is an adequate smartphone gimbal that's on par with the DJI Hohem 5 in relation to price, features and performance. If you want a faster way to attach your smartphone to a gimbal, then the Hohem 5's mount has a magnetic clamp that might sway you to buy that device. Number 5. Hohem iSteady Multi. Smartphone gimbals are great, but it's definitely better to have some versatility. The Hohem iSteady Multi features more compatibility with smartphones and other cameras, including GoPro shooters and Sony RX100 cams. And while the included cable is only for Sony cameras, the gimbal can handle other cameras, too, as long as they don't weigh over 400 grams. The gimbal only weighs 1 pound, and it features plenty of mobility. It can pan 600 degrees, tilt 320 degrees, and roll 320 degrees. Another great thing about the Hohem iSteady Multi is its apps features, including really unique ones like Inception mode. We were considering replacing the Hohem iSteady Multi with the MOZA Mini P Max, as it is much newer, can hold a higher payload of up to 1,000 grams, and supports more cameras. It's also significantly more expensive, though. We believe Hohem's option is still a better deal for most users. You may want to consider MOZA's alternative if you have a larger camera, though. Number 6. MOZA Mini S Essential. The MOZA Mini S Essential is another smartphone gimbal that positions itself in the middle of the road on pricing. It far outperforms its price tag, though. The Mini S Essential offers 3-axis stabilization, which is not always guaranteed on budget gimbals. It does weigh more than most on the list at 498 grams, but it supports up to 260 grams to give you impressive freedom to choose your device. MOZA also achieved solid battery life with its gimbal, even if it isn't top of its class. The 2200 mAh cell is rated for 8 hours, and our testing generally achieved the same results. It features a unique, off-center design that lends well to the ergonomic grip but still folds nicely for traveling. Number 7. FeiyuTech Vimble 3. We love the FeiyuTech Vimble 2S, and the Vimble 3 seems to beat it in every aspect. The foldable design can be reduced to 114.4 by 175.6 by 64.6 mm. There are much more buttons for those who need more controls. The design is much more ergonomic. Additionally, it supports cool accessories, including a magnetic fill light and Feiyu Intelligent Tracking Module. One of the things that made the Vimble 2S special was the 180mm extendable arm. The Vimble 3 one-ups it with a 198mm extendable arm, making it great for selfie shooters. Number 8. JOBY Smart Stabilizer. JOBY is perhaps better known for its GorillaPod flexible tripods. But they now produce this black plastic smartphone gimbal with a built-in selfie stick. The buttons and grip controls are straightforward. Front joystick, shutter button, and on-off button. Side zoom slider. Back multifunction trigger. The joystick is for manually moving the angle of the phone's camera. And you can press and hold the shutter button to start a video instead of taking a photo. It has advanced features such as dolly zoom, light trails, slow motion, time-lapse, and motion control mode. Plus, there's a helpful adjustment to level the horizon. But the max payload won't be enough if you have an oversized smartphone like the iPhone 14 Pro Max. And face tracking doesn't work if you move too quickly or let the subject leave the frame for more than a fraction of a second. Number 9. FeiyuTech Vimble 3. The Vimble 3 is FeiyuTech's best smartphone gimbal to date. It has an excellent selection of buttons and manual controls that make it easy to operate. There's a built-in extension rod. And there are many valuable features. It has gesture controls, filters, HDR shooting, a timer, beauty, light rail, and panorama modes. The Feiyu On app automatically connects the gimbal to the phone, which is handy. And it's possible to charge your phone from the gimbal via a cable using the built-in micro USB port. With performance, the tracking and stabilization are excellent, and the gimbal offers 360 degrees of rotation on all 3 axes. The gimbal head can hold phones weighing up to 260 grams, 9.2 ounces. That's enough for the latest iPhones. The AI tracking module gives you enhanced subject tracking. And this is built into the gimbal, so you don't need to run it through the app. It helps you keep your subject focused, no matter how much movement there is. Number 10. PowerVision S1. The PowerVision S1 has an ingenious, compact design. That means it's very portable. It also offers most of the expected features of a smartphone gimbal. So it has 3-axis stabilization, gesture control, power follow, object tracking, and reverse charging. Several introductory tutorial videos make it relatively easy to get started. And there are many different shooting modes, including time-lapse, slow motion, video, photo, and panorama. There are also only a few simple controls. Capture button, joystick, power button, zoom slider. But the panoramas show noticeable distortion, the built-in tripod is rickety, and the video is not well stabilized at full zoom. So all of that doesn't quite justify the relatively high price. Number 11. Zhiyun Crane M2S. While it may not be quite as versatile as the marketing suggests, the Crane M2S can stabilize compact system cameras, as well as phones and GoPros, or other action cameras. Unfortunately, even with the upgraded Quick Release 4 system, swapping cameras still isn't seamless. But if you want to carry around one stabilizer to cover multiple devices, the Crane M2S is one of the best options. Compared to the older M2, the Crane M2S has a useful 1000 lumen fill light, supports faster charging, in only 100 minutes from empty, and offers up to 10 hours of battery life. We found, when using a Pixel 6 to test it, the M2S required us to rebalance the phone when switching from landscape to portrait shooting, which was a pain. The Zhiyun Play app isn't as slick as DJI's, and do make sure any mirrorless camera is compatible before you commit. Thank you for watching this video and don't forget to subscribe us to get more information and update product review videos.